everyone. Welcome to another episode of Behind the Screen. This is your semi-spoilerific look behind the scenes of everything that we do here at RealmSmith. I've got like product placement here. This is the disaster that occurs after Monday nights. This is what you don't see. You're already getting a glimpse behind the scenes, as it were. Gonna bring up the Discord to make sure that I've got all of the questions up. What we're going to do is a little bit different tonight. We're going to do some fun stuff. The first thing is some announcements. We'll get through those. After the announcements, we're going to do some unboxing. We got sent some stuff. I just had dinner, and I'm lactose intolerant and decided to have like cheesy pasta, so that's probably going to go really great. I don't know why Discord's not allowing me to log in here, so I'm just going to do it from here. There they are. Perfect. All right. So we're going to do announcements real quick, and then we're going to do some unboxing from friends of ours at Forged. That's forgeddice.com. They've got some really cool stuff that they sent us, so I want to show you that stuff. With our handy dandy PTZ camera. Man, these jungle birds are loud tonight, so we're just gonna bring down the jungle Sirenscape stuff. It's loud in the studio. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna talk a little bit about how I prep a settlement for my sessions. Get a lot of questions about how we do things and how I prep certain things. So I thought it'd be a cool opportunity to kind of walk you through my process a little bit, especially for each of the settlements in Wildemount, so that you guys kind of have a bit of a little insight on as to how and why I do what I do. All right, announcements real quick. Great session last night. Lots of fun, kind of like heisty, sort of sneaking around stuff happened. It was awesome. This Thursday, Players Table, Joel Auger will be running it and talking about last night's session as well as kind of the season in general. We are launching a new show, a new concept for a show. I know you've heard it here first. I don't even have the Twitch chat up. So I'm going to bring the Twitch chat up so I can see what you guys are saying, because that would be great. But yeah, so we're launching a new show, and we still have a working title for it, but the concept is that we are going to go play by play into other streams' epic moments. So, perfect example of that is on Critical Role, when Joe Manganiello showed up as Archon. And spoiler warnings for Critical Role for those of you that haven't seen Vox Machina campaign 1, but stole the hand of Vecna and took off and out. So really excited about it. Really cool concept. It's going to be small, kind of bite-sized segments, walking through epic moments in streaming, epic moments in D&D streaming. So we're super pumped about that. What I'm going to ask you all is if you would kindly let us know of epic moments that you have loved from other streams. It can be from our streams, it can be from Critical Role, it can be from Acquisitions Inc., it can be from Dice Camera Action back in the day, it can be from whatever you want. And what I'd like you to do is head to our Discord, and there is a channel called Roll by Roll. And in that Roll by Roll channel, I would like you to give us a link to the video and a timestamp of where that moment happened. We'll go through all of those suggestions, and then we will base a season over it. We'll give you a shout out for whoever suggested it, and it is going to be a lot of fun. So that is kind of what we are going to do for that. So again, new show coming. Very excited about it. A bunch of new content coming, which I can't tell you all about, but we're very excited about that one. specifically. Right now, the working title is Roll by Roll. That might be the actual content. Don't know, but we will see. Also, Dave and Joel from Mythroll are going to be on Steve, that's Scuba's podcast tonight. We will raid at the end of this so that they get all the love. And make sure that you go check them out on Steve's. They're probably talking about the Tile Formers and Stoneheart and all the awesome Kickstarter stuff that Mythroll is doing right now. And we're very excited and supportive of everything that they do. And thank them for their ongoing sponsorship of this show. Next Monday, again, back at the table for episode... geez, why did I just blank? It was I just did episode 9. Or was that 9, 10, 11, 12? Episode 9 is coming Monday. My brain. Guys, Tuesdays, this is what happens. This is just my brain goes to mush. All the maths, Maverick, all the maths. I think that's all the announcements for now. There is a Revelry session happening from the Discord tomorrow night, Wednesday. Very excited about it. This is the Tier 3, so if you're a Tier 3, you are able to go on quests that surround the capture and bounty of the party on an ongoing basis, because now they are enemies of the Revelry. Spoiler warning. Post-spoiler warning. And this is their opportunity as they close the gap. Very excited about that. Oh, okay. Sorry. Right. He is no longer on Twitch. He cannot be rated, but Scuba is on YouTube. The link will be in the chat if you want to check that out. All right. I will also do a Revelry recap at some point today. I just have to find my notes on that, and I'm sure the Smith Guardians will shoot them my way for what happened this week. In the Revelry and over the last little bit, because there's been lots going on and we haven't talked about what's happened in the Discord roleplay servers for a little while. Okay, so let's do the unboxing and then we can go from there. Oh, okay, so you can check them out. The Smith Guardians can put the chat, the link in the chat. It is forgeddice.com. Their whole thing, it started with dice, but it's not just dice. In fact, John, who I speak to, has told me and reassured me that, and to tell people that it's not just dice. They've done dice in the past, awesome dice actually, but it's actually they do items that are fantasy, tabletop RPG related, that look nice on a coffee table, for example. That will still look cool, kind of. Back here in our studio is kind of their approach to doing things. They have some really cool things. Let's dig in and see what they sent us. First things first, dice. So they sent me a bunch of these little forged dice boxes. We're going to switch over to this PTZ here real quick. And really cool. And they've got some things on top here I want to talk about, actually. Which are really awesome. Let's see if this works. It's not working. Why isn't it working? Folks, my PTC, it's broken. It's broken, I don't know why. Is it my PTZ? One moment, please. Let me see if I can fix this. Because I need it in my life. Nope, not working. I will be right back because we need that PTZ in order to do this awesome unboxing, but I'm going to talk you through it. Folks, I'm not sure why all of a sudden it's decided not to register. Welcome to Behind the Screen, where you really get the inside baseball on things. Not sure why that's not appearing. Okay, here we go, folks. It's gonna happen. Haha! Oh, this is going to work so well. You ready for this? Boom, shakalaka. All right, there it is. Sorry about that. All right, you can see some of the remnants of Monday's session, including Borth's head there. I will be posting photos of the fort that the party never ended up getting to. Funny enough. Okay. All right, here we go. So, first off, like I said, we got some dice. So, what John wanted me to tell everyone is that, let's go right in close here. There we go. He's got these really cool, well-met Game Master. Thank you for equipping yourself with Forged Dice Co. Great for your next adventure. We wish you many nights of quests and camaraderie. And there's a really cool kind of dragon image on that card there. And when you open up the dice, so he sent me these because he knows I play Cyberpunk. And these are super cool Cyberpunk dice. Or digital dice, I should say. They look digital-ish. And they have a really nice little container, too. I'll show you an up-close version of that. But some really cool pack of stickers they send you, too, with those dice. But let me get real nice and close here. PTZ Magic. There we go. Look at that. Get right in on the action. So these are really cool digital kind of dice. They're nice and hefty. Very neat. And there's a full set here. And then they also have, they sent us some stickers here. So they've got a Let's Roll sticker. Funky sticker. There's a Forge sticker. Little Mimic sticker. These are really great. And these are, I was told, original art from an artist that they have. And some potions and stuff. Very cool. Cool, you get stickers in your dice. Or with your dice. Really awesome. And that is only one of 3 sets of dice they sent me. Let's see if I can open these up real quick. Just give you an idea. These are like sparkly blue dice. You can kind of see those. Very cool. And then these here are like blood-splattered white dice. But they're all part of the same set. Really cool carrying box with the Forged logo. These are really well made. Nice little tin box. And those are the 3 types of dice. Very, very cool. And then, let's get the dice out of the way real quick. The next cool thing, and I told him that I especially liked this. These are super cool. So you get a little bag with the Forged logo on it. And these are their spell books. So it's a cool little spell book, engraved leather, with a little Forged logo on the, I don't know if you can see that, with the Forged logo on the little strap there. There you go. Cool dragon motif on there. And when you open it up, it's got plastic sleeves. Forged logo in the back. Super cool. But the cool part is they have spell cards for these. And so the idea is that you can, these are scrolls. And then I think they also have pages. I'm going to open this up. As soon as I can get my fingers to work. Super epic. So there is some scrolls there. Oh, okay, it's all pages. That's awesome. So they have scrolls on one side, and then kind of just a normal sort of background on the other. They feel glossy, which maybe you can use dry erase. I'll have to ask on that. Or maybe it's on the website, but super cool spell cards. You can use, I guess, the scroll side or the other side, depending on which kind of spell you have. Those are super awesome. I would totally use those if I was a caster. Super cool. I'm assuming those will also fit like the typical spell cards that you get from some of the D&D manufacturers. Okay. This thing is super cool. So I'm going to lay this down. It's pretty nuts. I need lots of room for this. I don't even know if I'm going to get the whole immensity of what it is. I wish my overcam was working so that I could turn it off. That would be brilliant. I'm going to try it one more time. Let's see what happens if I do this. See. Ha! Worked. Okay. Look at this. The Grim Bones Dice Tower from Forge. You can see some of the reap what you roll and accept what fate deals you with the Grim Bones Dice Tower. Expertly crafted, sculpted, and painted. This game aid makes every roll more exciting and adventurous. Crafted from genuine rollerite, aka poly resin. Measures 11 inches tall and 8 inches wide, 6 inches deep. Designed to roll and all standard size dice, and so on and so forth, and it's got some fun little things. So we're going to check this out. I have something else that I'm going to show you later at another session that I'm not allowed to show yet. So stay tuned because there's going to be more from Forge. Check this out. Dice Tower. It is fully resin, fully 3D, Forge logo on the back. This thing is insanity. It's insane. Look at this. I get it into view there. Get all the views. Maybe I'll like, there we go. Look at that. Very cool. If you're into Grim Reapers, it's awesome. Little surprise on it though. Watch this. What? It lights up. Changes colors, and let's test one of my dice on it. What do you think? These are the RealmSmith awesome dice that I always roll. Only rolled a 7. I got a default to an 18. That'll work. Anyway, so awesome stuff from Forged. They're going to send us some more stuff, and they've got some really awesome stuff they said in being manufactured right now. This thing is awesome, and it's huge. I'll have to find a place kind of back here in the studio somewhere for it. And good for the Strahd campaign. Very, very true. I want to show you that other thing, but I can't yet. So it's actually my favorite thing that they have. But I've been asked to hold off on it. So I will show you in a couple weeks, hopefully. But that is all I got from Forged. And I want to thank John and those guys over there. So much fun. And we love getting new stuff and showing people all the great things that people make out there for TTRPGs. So great. So fun. All right. Do we have some cool moments posted yet in the Discord? Has that happened yet? I want to know. I don't know. Maybe not. Let's find out. I'm going through it. I'm having a hard time finding the channel. It's here, I swear. General chats. Roll by roll. There are some. Mr. Carrot was the first one. Here's my epic moment submission, Jester, and the last cupcake. I knew that would come. LOL should go right to the start of it. Awesome. So great. Great. And that's what I'm talking about. Epic moments from streams. And, you know, the whole idea is going to be like, I don't know if you guys are UFC fans or sports fans, but in the UFC, there's a show called Inside the Octagon, and basically they draw on the screen, and they talk about like what people did and when people notice certain things, and that's the concept. We're going to kind of break down those moments, and it'll be a lot of fun. Okay, great. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a couple questions, and then around 8:30 Eastern, we are going to go into kind of talking about my prep for a session. for a settlement, I should say. And when I'm prepping kind of a place that they're going to go spend some time in. Let me just get back to my questions here. And we'll start with some questions about last night's session or anything else you guys want to know. Here we go. Question from Vixen450. If someone made cookies of the cast, would that make them the delicious 6? Can we do that? Yes, you can. And yes, we will eat them. And yes, we would be delicious. They would be delicious. We're in Canada, might get old and cold getting over here, but I would love to see pictures of us as cookies or / pancakes, because I've seen Critical Role pancakes. Question. Can we take a look at the Garrison? We only saw the outside last night, and it looked awesome. Yes, you can. You know what? Do we want to do that? I'm going to answer a couple more questions, and then I will show you the Garrison real quick. Kevin Manx says, would Roll by Roll be a good chance to go on YouTube? Yes, it would be on YouTube for sure. Question from JCLC asks, one day I'll find out what type of PTZ Jason is using, or would Julian know? Joel would know, actually. You can ask Joel in the punk rock in the Discord. S. Good Kai says, they are dry erase cards. Perfect. So they would, did I say wet erase? That makes no sense. Dry erase. Awesome. Jeff Troot asks, so watched Premiere on YouTube and wasn't able to get in the drawing. So will the same way to be in a drawing to be on there too? Yes. So we will have draws on YouTube instead of Twitch when we make the move over to YouTube. I will say that it is looking more and more likely. We're like 90% sure that we're going to make a move on our live streams from Twitch to YouTube for a lot of reasons, including the fact that we won't be, Twitch takes 50% of everything that we make, and we want to do more with what you're able to provide and give us and bless us with. So that's one huge reason. The other reasons are searchability. YouTube is the second largest search engine on the internet, and therefore it has innate searchability. If you try to search a Twitch video, it's very difficult and not very good. And community management. So we're going to make a shift from the Twitch subscription model to a Patreon subscription model, and then allow a bunch more tiers, a lot of really fun stuff, and we will make sure that we bridge people who have paid for months and months in advance. April Lynn asks, when RPing an NPC, how much of what you do is prepped, improvise? It's getting better, but RPing NPCs is definitely my weakness. Yeah, so it really depends on who that NPC is. If they're crucial to the story, then I prep quite a bit. Actually, in fact, I prepped more when talking about the settlement, and that's actually a good segue into that session. Maybe I will show you just the ground floor of the Garrison before I post pictures, because I've actually deconstructed it. But I'll just show you the ground floor, and then I'll post more pictures of it again later. And then we'll talk about NPCs and settlements. Okay. Let's do some PTZ magic here. Here is the ground floor of the Garrison. So you can see, fun. You can see the front entrance. Obviously, those are the Dwarven Forge torches, of course, that light up. The portcullis actually opens, which is awesome. And these are the cells in the back. These are the Dwarven Forge cell pieces. There's some like supplies here, and then these are the cells, and this is the cell that Three Earrings was in. And there's more floors, but I'd have to construct it, and it would actually take too long. So I will take pictures, and I will post it, I promise, in the future. Okay. Whew. So when prepping a settlement, there's a lot of things that go into it. I want to make sure, and so I actually learned a lot from the Explorer's Guide to Wildemount, because in the Explorer's Guide to Wildemount, it talks about each of the ports of call that players could potentially investigate or go to on a number of occasions. And it has some general stores that exist, and then some specific stores for things that the players might be looking for. And this was specific to the Tides of Retribution mini adventure at the beginning, at the end of the book, but that we did as the premiere of season 1. And so what I did was I took, just going to bring up my Trello. What I do, and I talked about in Trello, but you can use any system. You can use little post-it notes or whatever you want for this sort of thing. But the idea is that I actually break it down just like a D&D module works or appears. For example, Chris Estrad or any of the current D&D sort of campaign books do. And these are like the pre-written campaign books, not the source books like Explorer's Guide so much, but the actual like written complete adventure books. Is that I break it down into a general section. I break it down into points of interest, and then I break it down into special events. And this is something I got from the D&D books. In the overview section, I'll have all the general stuff. And what I do is when I'm prepping an existing place, for example, this week I am prepping for a potential trip to Nicodranus. That's where the players are heading. So there's a lot of history. There's a lot of really cool Easter eggs from Critical Role, a lot of things that I need to make sure I get right. So what I do is I look through Explorer's Guide to Wildemount. I take all of the information from there about Nicodranus and I transfer it to my Trello board, or for those of you that don't necessarily have Trello, some other sort of note system. I copy it all over, and I like to copy that because that's the way that I retain knowledge best, is if I see it, I copy it and edit it in the way and basically outline it in the way that makes sense to me. Everyone will be different. Prep will be different, but that's what I do first. Then I go to the Critical Role wiki. I go to a bunch of different kind of web crit roll stats and a bunch of places where I can get information about Nicodranus and the people that the Mighty Nine found or interacted with, and all the lore. And then I inject that into what I already have, which was based on the Explorer's Guide to Wildemount. So in that overview section, I've got the population and government, defense, commerce, organizations, or anything else that I need to know at a quick glance if the players ask me any questions. But then I also break it down. Then I'll have a checklist under that, and I break out the information that players might know on their own because they've been in these areas. Snow has been to Nicodranus. Plunkrock has passed through Nicodranus. So I will actually, as a checklist under that in my Trello board, I will add, Snow. I'll say it. When we were in Broken Bank, there's information that says Snow has been here before, knows of the listed establishments. He's aware of Aldegime's alliance with his sister and the heavy Zalezo occupancy, which I told Snow when they arrived. And then I can check that when that information has been given to the party. And if you want to know more about Trello, I've done that in past episodes of Behind the Screen. You can find those on YouTube, just to see how I kind of lay it all out and what Trello is. Then, so that's one card or one section under overview. The other one is a general rules and lore area, so that if they're in a tavern or anything like that, I will have I have a places of interest. So if they're asking about other places, so I had in the Finagled Fin, I had information, or anywhere they would have gone to look for information in Broken Bank. I have a paragraph that I've taken about Nicodranus. They are going there. I thought maybe they'd ask the question. So I have Nicodranus is the easternmost port city in the Menagerie Coast, along with Port de Mali. It bookends the Menagerie Coast. Although Nicodranus is approximately half the size of Port de Mali, the city has colorful rooftops and towers, varying in height and design, blah, blah, blah. And I would have given that to the players if they had looked for more information on Nicodranus. There's also, and then I had the notice board, which also had ships departing, the Clovis bounties, and the wanted poster, which you guys saw as well. And then also I have little tags that you can add to your tickets or your cards in Trello that for plot revealing and encounters and hooks and things like that, which again I've explained in another episode. So that's kind of the overview section of the prep side. Then points of interest, I break down each individual section. I wish I had kind of a view of this so I can show you guys kind of what that looks like. And I Maybe I do. You know what? I can't do that. I can't do that from here right now. I can't do that. But I have covered it, like I said, in past episodes. But I would, so points of interest, I have Aldegime's Apothecary is one card, Finagled Finn is another card, which is the tavern, Lucidian's Rest, which is the inn, Carlbuck's Wares, and all of the main areas that they could have visited from a store perspective or from a point of interest that they may have wanted to go to. If I open up Aldegime's Apothecary, I have a description at the top, and when I have the text that I'm going to read to the players. If you do the pointed brackets, I forget what they're called, it actually creates text that I know I need to read to the characters. It goes gray and it indents it with a line, and I forget what technically that's called. But I have a quaint little apothecary shop that's well organized and tidy despite Broken Bank's chaotic nature. And then I have a little description about 3 earrings and their relationship, and have a message about the owner, Aldegime, what accent I use for her. I have Irish here. I was looking forward to it because I've been working on my Irish, but they didn't show up. And then a little description of who she is and what she looks like, so that I remember, so that if they ever come back to Broken Bank, I can go back, remember the accent, and remember what she did. Then I list interactions. So it'll say interactions with Aldegime. And upon arrival, any interesting things about Snow, history, if they ask about the history of Broken Bank or Aldegime, and if she has any potions to sell and what she has. So that's what I do for every single place. The Finagled Finn is another example. I also do have a little screenshot of all of the cost of food and drink out of the player's handbook. I have rumors, so if they were going to get rumors in the Finagled Finn, I'll list like a number of rumors. I have one about Diarkle, which they didn't follow up on, and the Palma Flora rumor. And then adventure hooks, which there was one in there, which was the individual who had talked about the portcollar and getting the ledger, which they actually followed up on and they completed. So that's what I'll do. That's points of interest. Then special events are things that I can cue when I feel either when the characters arrive in an area or when something's going to happen, and it's an event that needs to occur while they're in Broken Bank. And sometimes they're triggered by the players, sometimes they just happen randomly, sometimes I decide when they happen. One of them, of course, was the ambush by Yana, which happened right at the beginning. Again, spoiler warnings, folks. The Song of Deshilla the Dreadful, which was sung at the Finagled Finn. I figured if they didn't go to the Finagled Finn, I'd have a bard sing it in the inn. I have the level up details because I knew they would level up in Broken Bank as soon as they woke up from their sleep. So I have all of that laid out and what I was going to tell each player. You know how I do level ups kind of narratively. There's Alezo encounters, and so on and so forth, and the rescue of earrings and so on. So that's how I break down a settlement. I actually go through, and lately I've been using the NPC rolling tables in the DM's guide to give a bit more interest. A perfect example is Carl Buck. That all came heavily pierced, wiry gnome who's oddly curious. That was all built from the DM guide when it talks about NPC and all the rolling tables. The Broken Blade Smithy, which they didn't go to. Hagnalin Hagne Craig Buckle is the name of the owner. And she's a broadly built female dwarf with a pronounced scar across her face who paces incessantly. And again, they never went to these places, and that's the plight of a dungeon master, is you prepare all this stuff, and they may never go. I built 3 floors of the Garrison, they never went there. And I wouldn't force them to, and I try my best to just give them the information that they feel they need and allow them to go, and they found another way around it. In fact, they found a way that I didn't expect, and so I had to build the estate for the next episode out of Warlock tiles in order to address that. So, again, so much fun. And, you know, I could go nuts. You could do every house. You could do every business that's there. I just do major ones that I know they'll probably want to visit. and then anything else that exists that is important. Is there anything else I want to cover there? When it comes to things that I actually build on the table, it's things where encounters are probably going to happen, or points of interest that are I want to say epic, but noteworthy. So aha moments. So it doesn't necessarily have to be an encounter or combat. Sometimes I'll just build something so that they get the idea and the breadth of, or the severity or weight of an encounter or a session. I rarely do written maps. I'll pull a map from online if I need one quick, but I usually just build something if I'm going to build it. And I really enjoy using Incarnate to create maps of the towns and the villages and the cities. You saw the map of Broken Bank that I created, that now I can just go back to any time that they come back to Broken Bank. Anyway, so that's a little bit of a look into how I create a settlement. And that is, it's not really creating a settlement. That's like translating it from what exists to the way it appears on my table, to the way I manage it, to the way I give it to the players. Yeah, that's a little look. If you want to hear more of this kind of stuff, please let me know in the comments and in the chat, because I think it's valuable. I think it's fun. I think you guys will probably enjoy it. And I will take questions. So we've got another 20 minutes or so left in the session. If you guys have questions about what I just said about settlement creation, or translation, I should say, or preparation, or you have any other questions, we'll open it up to questions now for the next 20 minutes or so. And let's do that. Let me bring up Discord real quick. All right. Actually, while we're waiting for some questions, there's a bunch here already. I'm going to do the Revelry recap. So for those of you that may be new, we have a Discord server that has roleplay sections in it if you subscribe at Tier 1, Tier 2, or Tier 3 on Twitch. If you subscribe, you can enter and you can roleplay on a narrative that affects the live stream and vice versa at Tier 2 and Tier 3. Tier 3s actually have an opportunity potentially to show up on stream and or at least play and interact with the stream. And there's added perks and so on to the different levels, which is a lot of fun. And they're playing the Revelry this time, and their home base is Darktoe, and they venture out and they come back, and it's a heck of a lot of fun. Like I said, right now they are actually hunting the bounties on the heads of the players because they are enemies of the Revelry. Those are the Tier 3s. Tier 2s are treasure hunting and looking for goods that have that exist on ships that have gone under and wrecked. And then Tier 1s are in charge of making sure that Darktoe is protected from incursions from the Undertow, which we've called the Underdarktoe. And it's so much fun. We've had a blast. Okay, here we go. And thank you so much to Hillary Zip for putting this together. This week on the Discord, a shipment of supplies to further the construction of the device being built at the top of Darktoe went missing. Ooh. Captain Sid, I'm reading all this for the first time. I'm not in the Discord all the time, so I love doing this. Captain Sid managed to narrow down a location of where it was last seen and took a contingent of treasure hunters to recover it. Dallas, Calum, Squibbles, Archer, and Domingo made up the party. They dove into the depths, and just as they found the crates they were looking for, they were attacked by several fishy humanoids. Sahuagin, I think is the way you're supposed to say it. I keep saying Sahuagin. Anyways. A daring battle ensued, and eventually the intrepid party came out victorious, retrieving the supplies so needed by the Pine King. The hunters within the Free Folk caught word that one of the wanted folk, Diarkle, was on Broken Bank. Huntmaster Jolzos gathered Alfred, Soren, Falcorus, and Torin. After changing the name of their ship as to not attract attention, they approached the island. After a bit of questioning, they found her hiding spot. Under the cover of dark, they made their approach. Avoiding shield guardians in Zalezo, they discovered they weren't the only ones hunting Diarkle that evening. Folks, this is where things interact. They didn't know that the party was actually on Broken Bank at the same time. So friggin' cool. A quick move from the Huntmaster removed the guard outside the building they believed Yarkle was in. Once he was dealt with, the spy was definitely dealt with. Once he was dealt with, they saw a spy escaping with their target. The spy was definitely dealt with, and Yarkle was finally in their hands, shackled. With some clever thinking and a combination of spells and intimidating glares, they managed to get her out without attracting the attention of the Zalezo guards on patrol. She is now in the custody of the free folk of the sea, awaiting judgment from the Planet King. Well done. Revelry, well done. The warden, Zinnia, worried about the increasing suspicious activity in the seas and the extended banks of fog plaguing the island recently. She gathered a small group of locals to investigate the undertow. Looking for clues as to what was going on, these brave souls were Zanril, Odyssey, and his panther, Kana, and Gustav. After a bit of travel through the dark tunnels, the sounds of movement were heard up ahead. 3 Sahuagin were there. I almost said Sahuagin. I'm going to say Sahuagin. That's the way. Sahuagin. Anyways, you get it. Surrounded by what looked like a camp for many more creatures that weren't present. The fight was tough with several people going down, but they whittled them down slowly. When they realized their luck was turning, the Sahuagin started to run. One by one, they dove into the deep pools in the cave and disappeared. Before the last one left, she issued a warning. She warned that this was a warning, just the beginning. The next time, there would be more. Finally, a mysterious fog has been plaguing the shore, much thicker than usual. Strange voices and splashes are heard. The smell of blood can be detected within the mist. More people have been plagued by disturbing dreams. Much drinking and eating and revelry has occurred in the cup and the cricket. Brilliant. Thank you, Hillary. That is brilliant. Gifted writer as well. And man, the Smith Guardians are so awesome. Let me just say how awesome they were. I had a great call with them last night to discuss the quests moving forward. So much awesomeness. And I love doing that. We need to do that every single behind the screen. Really enjoy that. All right. Thanks, Smith Guardians. You guys are the bomb diggity. All right, let me get back to some questions. There's lots here. Aoki asks, I am a DM that has run games for many years, but I always struggle running high-level games, especially combat. What tips do you have for DMs like me? I have a hard time running high-level games too, Aoki. It's a challenge. Let's just say you have characters who can pretty much almost do anything, get almost out of any situation, with creatures who have abilities that are far beyond anything that you've seen. Man, for me, I find it so much easier to start a party at a low level and then have them progress to that higher level. The reason I do that is because slowly but surely they get to where, and they're adding little spells as you go. That progression kind of spreads that out. To put a 20th level or 15th level character on the table and then run a session for a 15th level character is very daunting. And so that's not to discourage anybody from doing it. For me, I love low level campaigns. I haven't run many high level campaigns yet. Our players haven't gotten there yet. Our old player characters from Sentinels and Into the Mist were starting to get up into those levels, into kind of those more epic levels. But what I would say is take it slow. Don't start a high level campaign as a new DM. I wouldn't suggest it. But if you're up for the challenge and to try it, that's another thing too, is always try. Like, why not just do a one shot for a high level? See how that goes. See how you're comfortable, and then you can continue on. Maverick 2 asks, were you expecting Bach to take the lead in the negotiations last night? What's funny is Dave last night, after the session, actually said he wasn't expecting to take lead in the negotiations last night. And that's the thing about D&D. You never know when things are going to happen and how they're going to happen. And so he didn't even expect it. So no, I didn't expect it. In fact, I had no expectations about how those negotiations would go, really. I just created the canvas for which that story was going to be written, or that painting was going to be painted, and the guard detail and all of that stuff to allow for flexibility. If I had expectations, I may have railroaded them in a certain way, and I really didn't. So I had no idea how it was going to go. We just kind of rolled with it. Jeff Trout asks, what about the follower giveaways? Yes. So here's the thing, folks, about the follower giveaways. They're not moving as fast as I had hoped they would with that. Beelingrim has given us some crazy awesome boxes. What we're going to end up doing is flipping those boxes over, maybe even stopping that whole thing and flipping it over to YouTube, repurposing them there so that on YouTube we can have certain goals for certain levels of subscribers, and then we'll do it there. So just make sure that if you are following on Twitch, that you also subscribe on YouTube. If you haven't done that yet, please do that. We'll tell people to do that, and then we will do a giveaway over there because we're just not moving quick enough on Twitch. Another reason why YouTube tends to be a better platform for this sort of thing. Easy AK asks, what can we as a community do to help support you getting back on Sunday's painting? I get this question every week. Really, honestly, it wasn't getting the viewership that we needed in order to kind of not reassess it, if that makes sense. This is complete open honesty. You know, the viewership we get on live streams and on other content was just much more digested and watched than the Sunday painting stuff. We are considering bringing back some sort of crafting painting stream. Not sure what that is yet, but we are in the midst right now actually of working out our slate. That other show that I talked about where we go through epic moments from D&D streams is part of that slate. So stay tuned for that. Do not lose hope. Kevin Manx asks, did you help the players' crazy plan work? Did you help the players create? What do you mean by that? And I'm saying you have help in quotes. So I'm assuming you meant like plot armor or like kind of pushing them along. Not really. They did a pretty great job of doing what they did. I did want to speed things along a little bit. And this is, again, inside baseball. I talk about baseball a lot. I don't even watch baseball. But I know what the saying means. The idea, when they left, I could have had the guards chase them more, but he did say to not. But I wanted to get Yanil and Nora back in, and that's part of a DM's job, is if one person is kind of sitting out and not part of the session because they've gone a separate way, or I put her somewhere else, I wanted to get her back in. So I kind of sped that process along a little bit, following what the players were able to successfully do in order to get her back in the game. So did I help? No. The way that they interacted with the portcaller absolutely determined the extent of what was happening. I didn't know how it was going to go, so it was hard for me to help because I didn't know what they had up their sleeves. But in everything I help, I mean, my job is to help them have fun and to facilitate that fun. So I guess, yeah, in some ways, I guess that's true. 7 Genesis 7 says, the real question is how much time do you spend each day, week for the campaigns? Sometimes I feel like I have too much to prep and then feel like I don't have enough. I feel like that all the time, Genesis, honestly. I don't get enough time in a week to prep. Sometimes I start a session, I'm like, I have zero idea what's going to happen. I have no idea what I'm going to do. I haven't prepped this, and this. Maybe sometimes it shows. Most of the time people are like, I had no idea you didn't prep as much as you had hoped or could. That's just the plight of the DM as well. I mean, you could prep, and then the players decide. And that's the other thing too, is you gotta consider risk versus reward. So I prep what I'm pretty sure they're absolutely gonna do, and then I prep some possibilities. But if there's like they might do that, I might not prep that, and then just wing it if I do, because they didn't even go to the fort. So another note for the fort, for example, I had the garrison. I knew how many Zaleza were going to be in it at any given time. I kind of built the rooms of what I thought. I didn't do any notes on it. I didn't talk about the rooms. I didn't do descriptions because I could just roll with that. You know, you walk into a gatehouse. The gatehouse is, 40 feet high. There's 2 large open doors and there's a trapdoor under you. Like there's a way I could just talk them through it and save that time because they didn't even go there. And so I spend my time prepping the things that I think will bring the most value. That's my suggestion to you. Barf Battlebrain asks, I love that name. It must have been great to have Morden Kanan appear in the myth. Oh man. Oh man. Let me just tell you guys. So for those of you that don't know the history on that, Morden Kanan is a famous wizard from originally from Greyhawk, actually, who was Gary Gygax, one of the creators of Dungeons and Dragons, who worked for TSR back in the day, I think found TSR with some partners. And that was his player character. So when he was making Dungeons and Dragons and playtesting, he was playing Morden Kanan. Morden Kanan has then become one of the most powerful wizards, rivaled by Tasha, because Tasha, in some say, has surpassed even Morden Kanan, but rivaled by Tasha. In fact, there's a picture in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, her playing chess, wizard chess, with Morden Kanan. Anyways, he has been around forever, since the 70s, really, but in the lore for a very long time. And when I found out that he was in Curse of Strahd as a character, I immediately said that Luke, Gary Gygax's son, had to play him. And what an honor it was when I asked him to, and he said, absolutely, I'll do it. Luke's a great friend of RealmSmith, a great friend of mine. Awesome dude. And in the military, and we want to thank him for his service. But just what an awesome moment for him to play his father's character. Legendary, awesome, and I can't wait to maybe see him again in the campaign. All right, last question from Glock89. Will you maintain a Twitch presence for Prime subscribers? Just thinking out loud. Yes, so we are looking at some potential content for Twitch still, to maintain our affiliate status and for people who want that kind of content. But this is the idea, guys. The intention is to create content for each of the platforms that makes sense for that platform. We have a concept that we're working on right now that takes advantage of the Twitch functionality very specifically for certain interactions. So, but we don't want to just shove a square peg in a round hole. That isn't kind of our intention. We don't want to force anything because of any reason other than what makes sense and what fits. Thanks everyone for watching tonight. Hope you had a great time. We had really great viewership tonight. Thank you all. Again, if you check out forgeddice.com, they've got some pretty awesome stuff there. As well, Thursday, Players Table, Monday, next episode of Tides of Wildemount. Things are really going to heat up, folks. We're at 4 episodes left. That is a quarter of the season. A third of the season left. Quarter. A third. Yes. Man, my brain is not working. I maintain all my mathing for Mondays. Tuesdays is my mathless brain. It charges. My math battery charges on Tuesdays. And trust me, my math battery typically is running fairly low in general. I am absolutely right-brained creative. Anyways, as you can probably tell when I calculate hit points and things on stream. Anyways, thank you for watching, everyone. Love each other. Good luck to those tier 3s on their quest tomorrow night. It's going to be epic. Shout out to Scoob for running it. And make sure you guys head over to Scoob's YouTube channel. Link is in the chat to watch Dave and Joel get... I'm sure they'll get up to all kinds of zaniness as they typically do. Obviously talking about their upcoming Kickstarters and their existing Kickstarters. You guys have a wonderful night. And we will see you Thursday for Players Table. Bye! Oh, wait a second. Bye.